And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and review for today's final episode of X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 10. Oh boy, what an episode this was, especially the ending. And, let me just say, if you have not caught up to this show, what are you waiting for? Stop watching, go back, come back later. We'll discuss it. Watch X-Men 97 because this season was great. So we all know Bastion was pretty much trying to destroy, all mutants and pretty much have his Sentinel program be the most dominant species on the planet. He wanted all that. He's basically beating the X-Men. We got to see Magneto rip the adamantium out of Wolverine, and then Charles had to go into his mind to pretty much stop him and try to get the power back onto the entire planet, which he did. And man, boy, basically Charles Xavier did a mind blast into Magneto's brain and basically took themselves out, both of them in a coma. And both of them ended up in, I guess, the first time they ever met, where we got to see a young Charles Xavier meeting a young Eric Lyncher, or Magnus, as his middle name is called. And, yeah, we got to see all that. That was pretty interesting. We got to see some moments of, Eric grieving and why he never really trusts humanity. Obviously, of course, losing his family, surviving the Holocaust, and all that stuff, but also seeing Charles Xavier try to remind him who he is and, their friendship and what it meant to him. Even though we're opposite sides, we're still friends regardless of what happens. We'll always be there to pick each other up. You do bad things, I'll be there to stop you, but we'll always be friends at the end. He tried to remind him that because at that moment, Magnus, Bastion tried to pretty much become the ultimate Sentinel, because he wanted to. He got stopped at first from the Phoenix Force. Remember, Jean Grey got knocked out, and then the Phoenix rose up and pretty much took out Bastion for 5 minutes, shutting him down, destroyed. I'm talking about destroyed Mr. Sinister by sucking out all the DNA that he's collected over the years and made him an old, wrinkly old man. That scene was great. We got to see some more, other Marvel characters throughout the entire city. We got to see Silver Sable again. Silver Samurai again. We got to see Cloak and Dagger for the first time. Daredevil made an appearance. We even got to see Iron Man hanging out with the president, which is President Kelly, and of course Steve Rogers. So we got to see that while they were discussing if they should, activate the Magneto protocol. I'll get to that in a minute. And we also got to see Peter Parker. Peter Parker from the original Spider-Man cartoon, and Mary Jane. And also you see a quick glance of Flash Thompson. That was cool because there was a moment where they all thought the world was about to end. They were just looking up. We got to see that. That was pretty cool. We got to see King T'Chaka as Black Panther. That was great. A lot of cool little cameos in here as well. We got to see through Charles and Magneto's mind trip. We got to see a boat in the ocean, and in the boat it had Rogue, people that I guess to Magneto who he cares about the most. It had a boat of Rogue, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, which is awesome, and also the first appearance in the cartoon, Polaris, which was yes, if you don't know who Polaris is Magneto's other daughter. She has the power of magnetism as well, and she's Scarlet Witch's younger sister, could be older. I'm not, they never really explained that, but anyway, that was cool. So the president decided, I'm gonna activate the Magneto protocol, which is basically sending missiles up to his moon station that he has, which is kind of silly to think about it, because sending missiles to space against a guy who can control metal How's that gonna work? And it's an asteroid. So you destroy the, say Magneto was there, he destroys the missiles, then what's the point of it? But if he's not there, you destroy the thing, the asteroid is going to come down and destroy Earth. So what was up with this protocol thing? No idea, but that was pretty interesting. We got to see an asteroid go down to the Earth. They try to fix it by, fixing it. We got to see Rogue beat the crap out of Bastion. That was great. We even saw Sunspot finally embrace his powers. Jubilee activate some of her powers, was great. And of course, we got to see moments where Charles reminded him, hey, listen, man, even though you're going to fall, you're going to fail, I'm always going to be here with you. I'll fall with you. If we're going to fail together, we'll fail together. To remind, Magneto who he is and what his true purpose is. And we got to see Magneto come back and pretty much save the asteroid and destroy it. But also, it was combining with the powers of the others, and then somehow they ended up in the past and the future. So I'll get to that in a minute. But man, what an episode this was. I mean, we even got to see Nathan, or Cable, get his arm ripped off by Bastion, and he even got to say goodbye to both his parents. He acknowledged Jean, the original Jean, the first Jean, as his mother. So that was great. But yes, there was a moment where we got to see Cyclops and Jean telling that, hey, listen, we love you, we'll always be with you, and you gotta be who you gotta be now, because then they thought they were gonna sacrifice themselves to stop the asteroid from coming to Earth, and yeah, so they did that through mind telepathy. So that was great moments. And then of course at the end, we find out that some of the X-Men are missing, pursuing them dead. Bishop comes back to pretty much talk to, basically tell everybody, hey, listen, we'll find them eventually. We always find the X-Men. And then we find out the X-Men are in the past and the future. But not the future we think it is. It's the future of when Nathan was just a kid. And he's like in a dune setting sand area, which was kind of cool sometime in the future. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the others, we got to see Rogue, Beast, Professor X, Magneto, and Nightcrawler, all in Egypt time. And they meet a young man named En-Sabah-Nur, who we all know is Apocalypse. So I thought that was cool. While Jean and Cyclops are in the future, they meet the younger son, Nathan, when he was just a boy. But he looks like he's a king, a ruler of this desert planet. Kind of like a Doom kind of feeling, which I thought that was pretty cool. And then it ends with freaking Apocalypse in the after credit, which was like, okay. He picks up a card, and it looks like it could be Gambit's card. Maybe he brings him back. I don't know. But next season is going to set up the Age of Apocalypse story, or some version of it, which sounds cool. Because now that Mr. Sinister's out of the way and Bastion's out of the way, it's time for Apocalypse to show up. And, that's going to be great. So does the X-Men have to go in the past and prevent Apocalypse from becoming Apocalypse? Because right now he's just a Sabah-Nur. So when we watch the episodes, are we going to see our X-Men, Rogue and the others, and Beast and the others, and try to prevent him from becoming Apocalypse so that future doesn't happen? Or something's going to happen where he's going to become Apocalypse regardless of what happens? So, yeah. So it looks like the Sentinels are done for now. I mean, they could come back. But all that stuff is done. Now we're heading into the Age of Apocalypse storyline, or a version of it. And I'm excited. I'm a little disappointed we have to wait till probably next year for it. But, man, this season was great. All the little cameos. We got to see Spider-Man in this. Peter Parker, Mary Jane, Flash Thompson. I thought that stuff was great. Cloak and Dagger, Daredevil. So many cool little cameos in here. It was just great. But overall, this show was awesome. It picked up where the original show left off and just carried it to closer to the finish line, if you want to call it that, because I don't know how many seasons we're going to get of this. And it was just beautiful. There was so many good moments in this show. You know, seeing Cyclops be a leader, seeing Professor X come back and losing his I guess his wisdom with his X-Men and them gaining his trust back. I thought all that stuff was great. Seeing Storm go through her trials and her, you know, her determination to get back her powers. I thought that stuff was great. Seeing Jean fight with her other self to, you know, basically get custody of Scott and you know, become a mother, and at the end of it, that was great. Seeing Morph be who he is, and that was cool. Wolverine being Wolverine, Jubilee, you know, embracing herself. I thought every episode in this show was great. Minus all the stuff with Mojo. I'm not a big fan of Mojo. I just feel like his character is just, you know, he's one of a one and done character. So, you know, minus that. But other than that, every episode in this show was just great. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Rogue was a great character this season. She had a lot to do in this season. Seeing Nightcrawler wasn't here was great. Like I said before, Cyclops and Jean was just like the leaders. Magneto was more badass than he always is, because Magneto is one of the most powerful mutants, most powerful Marvel characters in the MCU, or just in the Marvel universe, and he's great. And I just love seeing all that. I just love seeing all these characters get to show their shine. And yes, sure, you could show us, you know, other Marvel characters throughout the entire show, you know, small little Easter eggs here and there. But keeping it focusing on our X-Men is like, yes, this is what I want to see in the MCU. I want to see the MCU take the X-Men and make them their own characters, you know? Don't rely on, oh yeah, here's the X-Men, they're going to do this and this and that, but oh, do we have to, you know, call the Avengers and get their approval or any of that stuff? I don't want to see that. I want to see the X-Men be the X-Men in the same MCU as everybody else, but do their own thing, you know? Don't rely on the others to help with their situations, because they got so many their own problems to deal with, more than everybody else's problems. So they don't need them. It'd be great to see the others come around, help out once in a while, but not all the time. So they did a really good job of making those cameos be cameos and feel great and awesome. And I enjoyed every moment of it. And listen, X-Men has always been my favorite. They're like my second favorite Marvel characters, besides Spider-Man. Spider-Man's number one for me, then the X-Men, and then Wolverine. Oh, I count Wolverine with the X-Men, but anyway, I kind of them all together. But anyway, yeah, Spider-Man's number one, and then of course is the X-Men. They've always been those two, and I really cannot wait. If they are gonna do Age of Apocalypse next season, or a version of it, I'm excited. I cannot wait, because I think Apocalypse is a great villain to set up to, you know, be the big bad for the season. And I loved how they really didn't tease him, but you kind of had, if you were an X-Men fan watching from the beginning, because if you watch the original X-Men, he was always there. So to see that they didn't use him in this season, but you always got that sense in your head, where's Apocalypse? How come Apocalypse is not here yet? They saved him. That's how you set up a character like Apocalypse. And that was brilliant. And hope they learn that for live action X-Men movies moving forward. Don't just rush him into it right now. Build him up. Set up other villains. Please give me Mr. Sinister live action. But yeah, listen, this show was phenomenal. I loved it. I cannot wait to see the next season. Season 2. Technically season 3 if you want to, or wait, 5. Wait, we had 5 in the original. Technically 7 if you want to count all together. But either way, season 2, 7, whatever you want to call it, I can't wait. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about X-Men 97 overall. Did you guys enjoy this season? Did you guys ever watch the original? Did you guys never watched it and watched it on Disney Plus? Because it is on Disney Plus. You can watch all the original seasons of X-Men 97. Did you guys enjoy this season? Who was your favorite character? Mine's, honestly, my favorite characters this season was Rogue and Magneto. Their character arc was just way more better than they usually are. And yeah, so awesome. So yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. And what do you guys think is going to happen next season? Are we going to get Age of Apocalypse? A version of it? Something else, but it has to do with Apocalypse? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much. And have a good day.